Okay, let's go ahead and start, Eric. Today, thank you everyone for joining us. Today, we're going to discuss what is going on with the market now, and hopefully, be able to clear some of your questions as well. So, Eric and I, we're going to do something different today. We're going to just chat about what's really happening. So,
Mm-hmm.
Eric, you want to start off?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining this conference call. I would say for this conference call, we're gonna share what we see, what we've been observing about the market in the last 2 weeks when things get worse with the corona problem in our country. Don't get me wrong, just our thinking, our observation. This is in no way an expert opinion. So, Ivy, let's start with what do we see? What happened in the last 2 or 3 weeks?
Well, I would say in the last 2 or 3 weeks, because of everything that's going on, it has slowed down our our department for sure. A lot of people are scared. They have decided to put a pause on everything to see what's going to happen. So I think everyone is just standing by to see next week's results. But based on that, but we're still going, as you said to our team before, we're gonna stand and continue. So what do you see, what's going on with our commercial loans and a paper hard money? What do you
Okay,
see in regards to that?
yeah, this is what I see. Loan program one by one. First of all, for A paper. A paper, the good thing, A paper means agencies paper, conventional loan, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and FHA. A good thing about A paper in the last 2 weeks is rate went down. Not much, but enough. The bad thing is everyone is slowing down and observing what the market is, especially with the FHA. The FHA, there was a liquidity problem. So lender just freeze for like a week. What did that liquidity problem about? In a sense, for FHA, if the client stop making payment, the lender still under the obligation to make payment to the investor no matter what. And if everyone stop, then all lenders ran into the liquidity problem. Luckily, um, HUD came in and clarified the situation. They say if this time the client stop paying, the lender don't have to make payment too. So in a sense, the loan will not go into default. Before that clarification, a lot of lenders raised the minimum FICO score for FHA to 680. Some went back down to like 620 or even 580. Some still keep 680. I don't know why. That's for A paper. Moving into commercial loan. If it's a regular commercial loan, like when you go to Chase, Citibank, Wells Fargo, they still funding, but they become much more conservative on LTV. I don't think they would do any LTV above 50% right now. And that is for like AAA paper for commercial. The type that belong to the big boy, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, they still funding loan. The next one is the commercial bridge lender, the one that come in and do all the loans that the big boy, the institutional lenders said no to. And that space freezed out. No more for now. Because margin call, swap freeze, in a sense, the capital source for those bridge lenders was freeze. So 9 out of 10 of those lenders stop lending right now. So if you see any loan that don't belong to Wells Fargo, Citibank, Chase, then more or less it's on hold right now. Same with like Harmony. The the Harmony, the one like in the 10% range, if it's from institution, lenders like Angel Oak, Loan Oaks, they are free too, due to the same problem as any other bridge lender. The only Harmony is still funding and alive right now is the one from private investor. Those private investor is their own money. So if the interest rate, the compensation, the reward for the risk is right, they still funding. So more or less, Harmony is still funded with private investor, individual investor only. So that's what I see. What happened in the market in the last 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. But with hard money right now, we're just looking at a very short term period, right?
Right. Right now, it's still like 12 month to 24 month term. But like
Okay.
but like the LTV is also reduced.
Yeah.
You can hardly see anything over 65% LTV right now. You
Yeah.
lucky if you can get 65% LTV funded these days.
Mm-hmm.
Average LTV I would say 55% to 60%, and no more like in the middle of nowhere property. Need to fix it up property. So in a sense, decent location to good location, good property, good LTV only, and those individual investors still fund.
Yeah. Okay. So hard money is the one that still have active now.
Active.
Yeah. So the just the LTV, the property location, and what about the loan amount for hard money? Has that changed in any kind of way?
Yeah, like for the loan amount, if you have anything over $500,000 loan amount these days, it's tough to place it just because the investor become more conservative. They rather
Mm-hmm.
do like 2 or 3, 250 to $300,000 loan amount than go in at once, 500 or 700. We have like quite a few loans, very good, 55% LTV, good
Mm-hmm.
location, loan amount above 1 mil. That's where we have a hard time. Because for like
Okay.
private investor, not too many not too many of them is willing to put like over 1 mil in one property, even
Mm-hmm.
during good time anyway. So that's what
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those this week too. So for type of properties, you did mention it in a good location, but what about is it residential, commercial type properties,
Yeah,
or
resident
just okay?
residential and commercial, everything's still the same with private investor, just more conservative on the LTV, on the
Mm-hmm.
location, on the loan amount. On the commercial side, before, some investor would still do vacant building, but right now I don't think so. Right now, the vacant building will not go.
Okay. So, based on your experience, Eric, what do you think brokers should do right now?
Do you know what? Uh, in a sense, I would recommend do not like go around and call one lender and after an order. I think if you have a commercial loan right now, the one with like stated income, no tax return, uh, something like out of the institution lenders guideline, I think you should put those loans on hold right now. Don't waste time going around and check like whether this lender still fund. Even whichever the lender say they still fund, you know what? They still review the loan, but they play by ear, day by day, and they might prolong the process until they have a clearer picture of what's going on the market. So I would recommend on those like semi harmony commercial loan, put it on hold. For harmony, if it's under 500, decent location, uh, then there is still market for it, but be prepared for higher rates. Before we were looking at like 9%, 10%. Don't be surprised if investor demand 11% interest rate for those loans. So that's what I see like in the near future. Near future mean in this April month.
Mhm. So we've seen in our department, our sales department, that a lot of construction and fix and flips investors are still trying to get their loan. Should we say to brokers that those kind of loans are still on hold because they're high LTV
You
and
know,
high
first of
ARV
all,
products?
First of all, for those loans right now, the lender look a lot more at the borrower experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Some lender before they are okay with like a three flip before or three ground up construction experiences before. Now they ask for 10. So in a sense, if you don't have deep experiences, pause. Because lenders still fund in the fix and flip and ground up construction space, but they only fund to like very experienced borrower. And for those borrower, they have their own lender already. They're not gonna go around and suffer the loan anyway. So that's what I see. Like for ground up construction, normally before if you did two or three ground up construction, in the past it's okay. Now the tendency is to ask for 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. Okay. So, what do we expect right now? I mean, just out of we are going day by day, like you said. What do you think we expect in the near future?
You know what? That is the thing that everyone asks the same question right now. What do we expect in the near future? Nobody have an answer because nobody know what will happen in the future. Will this coronavirus be over in May, in June? Is there any economic consequence? How deep it is after May or June? Nobody know. For an example, right now, if you go to a lender for a commercial loan, they don't know whether the tenant will pay rent. Do they pay rent now? Do they pay rent in May? Do they pay rent in June? They don't have an
Mm-hmm.
answer. And if they don't have an
Yeah.
answer, how can they make a decision? One
Yeah.
thing, one thing people right now is a lot of people stop paying rent. Retail, apartment, hotel is out. Hotel is empty right now. Retail is very scary right now because retail shut down. I'm sure nobody gonna pay rent. Apartment, are the tenants still paying rent? And those until those questions are clearly answered, I think every lender will take a wait and see approach. Mhm.
Okay.
Even like for A paper, Fannie Mae, Fannie Mac, they say, okay, you can stop making payment for 3 months. That's okay. But the fine print is maximum 12 up to 12 months. You have to pay back those 3 months. What if the client don't have the ability to pay those 3 months after a year? What will happen? So
Mm-hmm.
so so so, so you don't pay. It doesn't mean it is forgiven. Forbearance mean you can delay paying 3 months. But what if like a year after, a lot of people say 3 months at once I can't. What will happen? So a lot of like questions are not answered right now. So what do lenders do? Just just freeze. Just free and see like what type of support the government can give, how strong the support is. So in the near future, I would say we cannot say anything for now.
Yeah, that's definitely uncertain right now.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to remind everybody. I see that they're asking questions on our chat room.
Mm-hmm.
Those questions will be answered right after the discussion between Eric and I. And so please, if you have more, go ahead and keep sending it over. Now let's move to what we are doing at Universal Commercial Capital, Eric. What are we lending? What are our active loans at this time?
Okay.
Because people are asking.
Right now, we are still funding Harmony loans. Harmony means 10% and up. California only right now because that's our home turf. We are pulling back from Florida. We are pulling back from Illinois. We are pulling back from Texas. So the only thing we are funding right now is the Harmony. And another thing we are funding right now is ground up construction, but you know we're gonna go in with very low LTV, and to make up for that low LTV, then we might have to assume a equity position in the project beside the debt side. So that's the only two things we are doing right now. I'm not talking about the A paper division because it's a different department. But like for A paper division, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, we are still very busy, and we are and when we are behind on that division. So that's what and where we are right now. In a sense, only California right now that we can make some move. Beyond California, we have to wait until at the earliest, I would say mid May.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I also want to discuss with you SBA, the Paycheck Protection Program that is available for business owners. Do you want to say something about this program? Are we going to have this available for people that want to apply, for business
Yeah,
owners that
okay.
want to apply?
Yeah, on the program itself, I'm sure everyone knows already. Everyone can go online, Google, and know about the program. The problem is nobody know how to apply for it yet. Even the bank, they don't know. They are waiting for like instruction from SBA, from the Treasury Department, on like what kind of application they should have, what is their liability in case of default. A lot of like unanswered question right now. So the law was passed, the money is there, and it was officially started on April 3rd, which was last Friday. But even the bank right now, we go to them, they say we are still waiting for SBA. We are still waiting for directive from the Treasury Department. So nobody know what to do right now. And there is some talk like even when the bank accept application for this program, they only serve their premium client first and then their own bank client. What about a lot of other people that do not belong to those groups? Where do they
Mm-hmm.
go? And we are trying to find out whether we can help, search groups on the application process. But like, do we have an answer yet? As of today, no, we don't, because
Yeah.
nobody know how to approach this program up till now. Today, April 8th, Wednesday. But like on the program
Okay.
itself, I'm sure everyone knows about it. We all go online, we all can
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah. I'm sure everyone has heard
But
about
like I
it.
would recommend the first place you ask is your own bank. Ask them, how do I apply? Where
Mm-hmm.
do I go? Because there is some talk, you can only apply with your bank if your bank is an SBA preferred lender. What about bank that don't do any SBA loan at all? Well, where do
Mm-hmm.
they send their client to? So a lot of unknown questions. We are willing to help, our client or everyone else, but we don't even know how can we help right now.
Yeah, that's true. But just a few highlights on that program. This program is for people that were harmed during this COVID-19 between February 15th through June 30th of this year, and it just definitely helps maintain payroll during the this emergency. I think it's for if you can clarify for me, Eric, what kind of businesses can apply for this? Eric?
Yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah, what's your
Oh,
question,
I'm
Ivy?
sorry.
Yeah,
Yes. What kind of businesses can apply for this loan?
all businesses with employees of 500 or less in a sense, all business, and
Okay.
even business like construction with like 1099
Mm-hmm.
employees, subcontractor, they are still qualified. But like, what is the qualification for those like self-employed employees? We
Mm-hmm.
don't know it yet.
Okay.
But
Okay,
like
but
for the
that's
regular company with 500 employees and less, for sure they are qualified. And SB only count employees with salary of $100,000 a year or less. But
mm-hmm.
there is a clause that even self-employed people, company that employ 1099 employees are qualified too. But what is the qualification process? Nobody knows it yet.
Yeah. No, we're definitely standing by to see what else is going to come updated during this upcoming future. Now, on the just a highlight on this program and last highlight, so we can go to the questions that we have from the people that have joined us today. It's a no collateral or personal guarantee required on this program. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
let's go now to the questions I have here. Let's see. Hi, Christopher, Daryl, Neil. Well, there's one question from Elaine that says, "Are you lending under what conditions?"
Yeah, like I said before, we are still landing harmony and ground up construction right now, but like only in California only.
Okay.
Stated income
Uh,
commercial, no. Fix and flip, yes, if the loan to cost is around 60%
yeah, even on in construction, I think the LTV, the leverage is being very conservative
across the
right
board.
now,
Yeah,
even
across the
with the
board, all
experience,
leverage. Hmm.
even with experienced investors. Um, Christopher Cave said, "I sell investment properties. Money has not just slowed down. It has drive up, stopped. Investors don't want to take any risk at this time." Okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
It says Christopher also mentioned that good stable income, even in this economy, means nothing. The properties are operating and are very viable, but nothing.
Yeah.
Sylvia says, "Hi, this is Sylvia from Texas. Mr. Tran, what do you anticipate the lending market will begin to pick up again?"
You know what? Best case scenario, I would say June, end of June. Worst case scenario, I would say 2021. Like I say, we are not sure what is the effect of the government help in this crisis so far. Like I say, for like apartment complex, people stop paying rent for 2 or 3 months. How does the government help? We don't know. If the government doesn't help, how do landlord and tenant work out such a problem? Because even if the tenant don't make payment, the landlord still obligated to make payment, mortgage payment to their banks. So it is a go around problem. And nobody know the answer yet. And until there is a clear answer to those questions, I don't think we will see any improvement soon. If this like coronavirus uh, get over by the end of April, maybe by the end of June. I'm not saying things will be better, but we all will have a clearer picture of what will be everything going into the future.
Mm. We have another question. Okay, somebody. Oh, okay. This is if the replay will be available. Yes, we're gonna have this webinar available all over our social media. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna also have it in YouTube, and anyone that has joined us today can get a copy. Let's see. Um, this is a comment from Christopher that says there are no buyers or companies in the U.S. So I'm working international because of travel restrictions. Buyers cannot come here to inspect. Uh, and this it brings my attention to the foreign nationals that are affected right now from investing in the U.S. And of course, right now, who's really wanting to invest in U.S. Would you say they are trying to invest or they're not? I haven't gotten any deals like that, Eric.
You know what? Like for international investors, on one hand, there is a tendency to bring their capital to the US and invest due to all the turbulent problem in their own country. But vice versa, when they bring their money to the US and invest, then they're gonna see the same problem. What if the tenant don't pay? Oh, can I borrow to buy? Those are the problem that international investor will face, and with all these problems, and they are too far away, sometimes it would cause a hesitation on their part. But on the good side, with this worldwide crisis, a lot of people from Europe, a lot of people from Asia do want to bring their capital to the US and invest because more or less it is still a safest country in the world to park your money.
Mm-hmm. I also see a comment from Christopher. Your company is running scared, no risk, no gain.
It might be true. It might be true. We are trying to avoid risk because we want to keep our capital for days ahead. Like I say, these days nobody know what's gonna happen.
I think everybody is doing that, right, Eric? Right
Right,
now,
like an
everybody. I don't
apartment,
think
it can be
nobody
a
wants to
very
take
good
any risk.
apartment, good rental income in Beverly Hills. Tenant don't pay, so good
Exactly.
become bad, and tenant don't pay
Exactly.
because they out of job, they stay home. A
Mm-hmm.
triple A, an excellent location will become bad. But like by saying so, that's what I say. Individual investor they still take risk. They still take risk, but like at a lower LTV and a smaller loan amount. So in a sense, we do still take risk, but at a lower LTV and a small loan amount from our individual private investor base.
I have another question here from Rob. It says, "Are you lending in Washington State?"
Uh,
I think we already answered that. Only in California for now.
and in Washington State, if it's harmony, we still do, but in the major metropolitan area only. Before we saw a lot of like loan requests in Washington State from like semi-rural or quite remote area, and those property we don't do anymore. But like if it's in Seattle, Bellevue, if it's a good property, LTV is low enough, we still do it.
Okay. Another question from Gregory. Are you lending nationwide also?
We used to 3 weeks
Yeah.
ago. We land nationwide, but we are pulling back across the board. So right now we only land in our home base, California, and one here, one there in Texas, one here, one there in Washington. But like we will be very careful if we go out of our home base, which is California.
Another question from Rob is your company performing table funding or buying notes?
We do buy notes, but like we don't do table funding.
Okay. Norma, hi Norma, thank you for your question. Can you tell us about FHA loan? We're already in escrow, California.
Do you know what? For FHA loan, about 2 weeks ago, a lot of lenders raised the minimum FICO score to 680 due to their secondary market liquidity problem. Some come back to like normal FICO requirement. Some still hang on to 680. So I would recommend you check with your own lender about their FICO score requirement.
Okay. And last question for now, I have Neil that says, how many of the big lenders do you think will fail?
You know what? We learned a big lesson from the 2008 crisis. So I don't think there will be any big lenders or even small lender will fail this time. A lot of them just stop doing business for a month and 2 months, but everyone anticipate to come back after a month or 2 months. I don't think we will see a repeat of the bank failure problem as in 2008. Even like for those lenders that stop lending right now, they only stop it temporary and they make it clear that they will come back, in a month or 2 months. Nobody say they're gonna go out for good this time. Not like in 2008, you just disappear into thin air and be done with it. So I don't think
Okay.
massive bank failure will not be a problem this time because we learn a lesson. We are much more prepared. The government learn a lesson. They are much more prepared too. Remember, in 2008, it took 18 months for Congress to pass a rescue package. This time, it took 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It took 2 weeks. So, so,
Yeah.
so that's my answer to Neil's question.
Okay. Okay, just to summarize all this with Eric this time again, just to answer questions that everybody is asking about lending, private
Mm-hmm.
lending. And yes, we are still active, as Eric said, we're still active in our hard money and construction in the state of California only, uh, but with a very conservative leverage and loan amounts as well. Um, and if anyone is having a loan scenario in the state of California that wants to run by us, they can reach us at 888-334-9039 or email Eric directly at eric@universalcommercialcapital.com or email me at ib@universalcommercialcapital.com. Anything
Mm-hmm.
else you want to add before we leave the webinar, Eric? Any suggestions or recommendations for everyone that has joined us today?
Um, I want to say thank you everyone for joining this conference call. Feel free to send me all questions these days. I will be more than happy to answer each and every question you have. And I think it's a very unclear time. So we need to like get what we know across the board so everyone know. But once again, thank you everyone.
Okay, thank you everybody for joining us today. We hope to come back in short time and do this webinar again with Eric. Thank you. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye bye.